Aye, for those who drive, it's always typical you get a fault with your car at the least convenient time. Like, it'll never be on a sunny evening in the summer, you're off work for a few days, everywhere's open. Mine had to be New Year's Eve, the wiper sheared off. If you can see it, that bit there has come off. Now, it's meant to have one of those clips for the ball joints that fits in, which is sheared off. So Europarts sold me this clip for about £7. Now the idea is, when that joint's on there, that will hook onto it, that will clip around, and it will basically hold it in place. It's not going to be a permanent fix, but it'll be a temporary fix until the new parts come. Only it's too small, so I'm going to have to try and drill it. I managed to get the actual arms off without an official tool. What I'll do when I put it back together later, I'll explain how I did it. Right, I agree this is bad practice. I've used a slightly bigger drill, what's that one? 10mm one. Kind of filed it in and out of the hole. I've also, with the pliers, just tried to widen it a little bit. Right, we'll see if this will go on. Right, I've removed that little washer there. I've managed to get it to fit. I just spun the motor around and it did do something, it didn't come off. It is only a temporary fix. I'm just going to have to put it back together and just hope it tides me over till the new part comes. Right, to put these back you need a 13mm socket. Right, so what I did was, to get them off, it took a bit of time. Put a spanner under there, and then I literally just kept hitting that. It did take a while, bit of leverage, but eventually it did come loose without having to buy the official tool. For good measure, I put some of this copper grease on the spindle here, so it's a bit easier to get off. Right, I'll get these tightened. Right, sometime later, unfortunately, because I went and got the chisel, wedged right under the car, and had to jack it up and do everything to get it out. When I tried it, that bloody clip sheared off. I'm not going to bullshit everyone and say it worked and it didn't. I've got it set up so it is working, but obviously it's not going to last forever, so I'm just going to have to play it very carefully, and hopefully the new parts will arrive tomorrow. But being New Year's Day today, I'm not too confident on that, so I'm thinking Friday the 3rd. Right, I'll get back to you then. Right, here I am again, the second day, and it is nearly 5:15, and it's pretty much as good as freezing. The part I actually wanted hasn't come. However, the part I've ordered on Amazon said it's literally round the corner, so I've just got everything set up. I've got me hand lamp and that halogen thing for a bit of light, even though it's quite hard to see what I'm doing. I'm going to get the linkage out ready so I can get it done as quickly as possible. Hopefully I can just get this out without having to do what I did yesterday. I'm going to lift that flap up and just pull the linkage out. Hopefully get it in the shed, get the new bushing on as quickly as I can. Right, that came off fairly easily, I didn't need any tools. Just hope I can get the bit I've ordered fits. I was hoping all the mechanism stuff would come, but it hasn't arrived, so I'm just going to have to make do with this. It's not ideal, but if I can fix it, you know, thumbs up. Right, after stressing all day, waiting for the parts to come, they've actually arrived. Burning question is, will he fit? Let's find out. Okay, I'm now in my very cold workshop. I'm going to fit that part. It might be a case of me doing it and then explaining later how I did it. We'll see. Okay, here it goes. That yellow one looks like a good contender, but it's still not fitting, so I'm going to give it a little bit of heat. See if it'll go in that way. I've got a couple if I do bollocks it up, but hopefully it won't come to that. I think it will go in, although I'm not happy with it being like that. So what I'm going to do, I've marked out a hole there. I'm just going to get the size and I'll drill it on my drill press there. Get back to the camera. I don't really want to do it this way, but I couldn't get it in that vice on the drill press there, so I'm going to have to drill it with a normal drill. It's not going to be quite as accurate, but I'm just going to have to see how it goes. I went for the white one out the pack in the end. I've done a 3mm hole in there. That's held that up. A bit crude, but I'll put a bit of glue on it so it stays in place. I'm just going to put some of my grease in the ball joint, and I'll do the previous one as well, and I'll fit it and just see if it works or not. I'm not sure what size that bushing was, but I got it in. What I had to do was kind of put it in the vice off of it and then push it in with the pliers, but it seems to have gone in. I've put a bit of grease on it so it's lubricated. Now the fun job of trying to fit it again. Okay, I've just fitted it. Seems to be doing its job. Fit the wiper blades back on, just hope for the best now. But it is moving up and down, which is good. That was a very short-lived victory with the mechanism. It sheared off, unfortunately, and then I had another nightmare yesterday. The night before the car wouldn't actually start, so I had to get a new battery. I've now driven to Wirral Spares in Birkenhead, where they've got a mechanism for me. Right, for 50 quid instead of 219, I've ordered one on Europarts for which I'm going to get refunded. I've got this one, 2006, it's a little bit newer than what I've got already. Problem I've got now, I need to get another wiper arm, because the spindle on it sheared. When my brother went to tighten it, he realised that there was no grooves there, so I'm off to collect that from Green Lane. Right, I'm now at Green Lane Car Spares in Birkenhead, and I've now got hold of the wiper arm itself, so get back home, try and fit it. Back where I started again, I had an absolute nightmare yesterday. I had to drive to Chester to get a new battery with the wipers not very working well at all. This one, I don't even need a tool to get it off. The actual, can't even see on the camera, but inside there the actual grooves are completely smooth, so it's not gripping onto anything at all. But the other one, there's no play in it, so that one's alright, but I've still got to take it off, unfortunately. With this one, I'm going to have to get it off without the official tools, so I need to unbolt that with a 13mm thing, put the bolt back on, just sort of finger tight, and then tap at it with a hammer, wise prising up, and it should come loose fairly easy. Both the wipers are off the spindles now, so I'm going to remove that cover, see what size I need to get the old one out with. That one come out easily, so did that one there. This one's putting up a bit of a fight, so I've got this better bar with the extension on. It's a 732 socket, by the way, you need. Right, I've got the old one out now, that horrible thing. Can't wait to throw it in the bin. I had to get me Black & Decker Wizard out too. Back in the bay. This horrible little bolt there that put up a fight, and even now I think it's got a bolt underneath it, so I might just find a nut that'll go on it. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to connect it with the special, you know, just a certain way of removing the old one. Right, the lad I bought it off in Birkenhead, he's just cut it off the donor car, which I don't blame him. It's a pretty big faff for him. Just get a screwdriver, prise that bit out, and I'll have to turn the camera off, but it should just pop out. I was using his name in vain then. That bit's just popped out, so I can slot that in. Right, I'm going to insert this into that bay there, and I'll get back. Right, after a bit of wiggling about, I've got it in. Be careful of that pipe, luckily I haven't damaged it. That goes into like a rubber grommet thing there. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. And then that screw there, and then just need to do its electrical connection, which I'll do in a minute. For good measure, I'm going to put some copper grease on them threads so they don't seize. Hopefully I'll never have to take it off again, but if I do, it'll make it a bit easier. Right, that's now fitted and the electrical connection's on. I might just fire it up before I do anything else just to make sure it actually works. Right, it's working, so I'll turn it off. Hopefully it'll be lined up so when I fit the wipers they're not going all over the place. I've got the panel back on. It took a bit of jiggling around and I still think it's a little bit, I need to kind of click in a little bit better. You just have to keep running your hand up and down it basically until it sits nice and flush, and then after that I'm going to put the rubber strip on and fit the wipers. Okay, that rubber strip is pretty easier to get off than what it was to get on. I've put some copper grease on the spindles, so I'm now going to fit the wiper arms and then fire it up and just see, hopefully it'll work. Take care as well, I made the mistake last few days, they've not been up properly, so make sure they're up, because when you come to wash the windscreen it's not going to work properly. Right, I've put the plastic things back in, topped the tank up with screen wash. I've also given the blades a quick wipe because they've been on the floor and everything. Right, only one way to find out. I think I've fixed it. Now the fun job, tidying up in here, all the stuff I've got out, and that's dragging because of the rain. And in here. Not immaculate, but this room never is. And a bit on the cluttered side, but it'll do for now. Right, thank you for watching. Any questions about the repair I did, please comment below. Alright, thank you, bye.